Are you going to be working out of MacDill Air Force Base and need some help learning about the Tampa Bay area? If so, stay tuned and I'll try to help you out. Hey everybody, Melanie Atkinson here, Realtor with Smith & Associates in beautiful Tampa Bay, Florida. And today I want to talk to all of you military folks out there who are going to be relocating to the Tampa Bay area. I have heard from a lot of you already, and I know you guys have watched a lot of the neighborhood videos that I have on this channel, and I'm so glad those are helping you. What I wanted to do for you today is to give you a little bit more information about where these different neighborhoods are in relationship to the base itself. I'll also give you some housing price information and some commute time information. Hopefully this information will be helpful to you as you try to decide where to live. A lot of people who don't live in the Tampa Bay area don't realize what a large military presence that we have here. MacDill Air Force Base is located at the southern end of the Tampa Peninsula, about 4 miles south of downtown Tampa. MacDill is not only an air mobility command installation, but is the headquarters for the United States Central Command and the United States Special Operations Command. With so much being done at MacDill, there are a lot of military professionals who get stationed here. There's also a lot of civilians who work at the base as well. I know that in a lot of circumstances, you don't have the luxury of time to get to know the area fully before you have to relocate here. Hopefully this video, along with some of my other videos and the resources that are provided by the professionals at the Air Force Base itself, can help you feel more comfortable about your move. Just a quick disclosure before I start. I am not affiliated with the military or MacDill Air Force Base. I'm simply a full-time real estate agent who wants to share her local expertise to help make your transition a little bit easier. I know the base has a lot of resources for professionals that are moving to the area, and I encourage all of you to use those resources. First off, let me be the first to welcome you to the Tampa Bay area. I hope you love it here as much as I do. Please check out my Why Tampa video for more general information about why the Tampa area is such a great place to live. Now, if you have decided to live off the base, there are a lot of areas for you to pick from. So how do you determine which area is best for you? Well, that depends on what's important to you. Is it commute times, schools, housing costs? In this video, I will go through some of the popular areas of Tampa Bay to try to help you figure this out. Please note that Tampa Bay is a huge area and I am only going over some of the neighborhoods. If you have questions about a particular neighborhood that I don't cover in this video, please reach out to me or put a comment below and I'm happy to answer those questions. Commute time to MacDill is probably the question that I get asked the most. As I said earlier, MacDill Air Force Base is located at the southern end of the Tampa Peninsula, which is really close to South Tampa and downtown Tampa, but isn't necessarily all that close to some of the more popular suburban areas. So one thing that I've noticed from my military clients over the years is that they tend to start and end their day a little bit earlier than most people. If that's the case for you, then commuting anywhere in Tampa is going to be a lot easier than it is for other people who have typical work hours. Say for instance, you work from 7 a.m. to 3:30 p.m., your commute times are going to be a lot more reasonable than people that start work at 9 and have to leave at 5. So now let's talk about some of these neighborhoods. I'm gonna go through some of the distances from these areas to MacDill, also the commute times, housing average costs, and also some information on toll roads. So the first area we're going to talk about is Brandon. Located just to the east of downtown Tampa is the suburb of Brandon. From MacDill Air Force Base, Brandon is about 19 miles away, and during non-rush hours, that drive will take you about 22 minutes. Now during rush hours, that same drive will take you about 35 minutes. The fastest route from Brandon to MacDill Air Force Base requires you to use the Selman Expressway, which is a toll road. Now, it's a great expressway. It actually has reversible lanes that allows traffic to flow better from the east to the west and the west to the east, depending on time of day. So because it is a toll road, in order to get the lowest cost tolls, you will need to have a Sun Pass, but the cost from Brandon to MacDill will run you at least $3 each way. Brandon has been a popular suburban area in Tampa for a long time, and there's a lot of established neighborhoods there. The average cost for a single-family home in 2019 in Brandon is $258,000. The average cost for a townhouse in Brandon is around $150,000. In Brandon, you have easy access to malls, restaurants, and professional services. It really is a bustling suburb. I know a lot of you will have questions about schools, and unfortunately with the amount of areas that I'm going to go over, I can't go over all the schools in all of those areas. There's just way too many. So I'm going to put a link in the description that will bring you to the Florida State website that will give you the school grades for any school that you're looking at. So the next area I will talk about is Riverview. The Riverview area is south of Brandon and about 22 miles away from MacDill Air Force Base. Your commute time during non-rush hours will be about 27 minutes, and during rush hour will be over 40 minutes. You will have to take the same Selman Expressway that I talked about in Brandon, so it will cost you that extra money in toll fees. So although the Selman Expressway moves pretty quickly, once you get off the expressway, there does tend to be some congestion in Riverview on the city roads. There are a lot of people in Riverview and it does get congested. The Riverview area is growing rapidly with a lot of new construction and resale options. The average price so far in 2019 for a single-family home in Riverview is $266,000, and for a townhouse, it's $168,000. Like in Brandon, you will have easy access to restaurants, grocery stores, and professional services. So the next area I'll talk about is LITHIA, specifically FishHawk Ranch. This area is pretty much due east from Riverview and about 26 miles away from the base. Your commute time during non-rush hours is about 38 minutes to the base and about 52 minutes or more during rush hour. You will again have to use the Selman Expressway toll road in order to get home as quickly as possible. So why do people choose to live so far away from the base? FishHawk Ranch is a beautiful, large, subdivided neighborhood that has been a popular place for residents, including military families, to move to, partly because of its high-rated school district, but also because it's a really pretty neighborhood with really nice housing options. There's also a lot of amenities. You have resort-style pools, extensive walking trails, playgrounds, parks, and restaurants. Now the housing prices definitely go up to be in this desirable neighborhood. So far in 2019, single-family home prices are averaging about $412,000 in FishHawk Ranch, and the townhouses are selling for about $193,000. And the next area I'm going to talk about is South Tampa. So this area obviously has the shortest commute time to the base because it's located right next to it. For those of you looking for a short commute time, this is obviously your best choice. Your commute could be anywhere from a couple minutes to about 20 minutes, depending on where you live in South Tampa. If you like more of a city feel to your living environment, then this is a great option for you. You're really close to downtown Tampa and can enjoy all the activities that happen there and in South Tampa. I did a whole video on South Tampa, so if this is the area that you think you want to live in, check that video out. The neighborhoods around the base tend to be the most affordable places to live in South Tampa, but in general, South Tampa is one of the most expensive places to live in the whole Tampa Bay area. For the neighborhoods closest to the base, the average single-family home price is about $418,000 so far in 2019. Even the townhouses are pretty expensive, averaging about $366,000 so far this year. If you go up to the more northern areas of South Tampa, the housing prices increase dramatically because of the desirability to live in that area. Again, check out my South Tampa video for more information. The next area I'm going to talk about is Carrollwood. If I continue to go north from South Tampa on Dale Mabry Highway, I will run into the suburb of Carrollwood. The Carrollwood area is very nice. It has lots of mature oak trees, easy access to lots of restaurants, shops, professional services, pretty much anything you'd want because Carrollwood is near Dale Mabry Highway, which has a lot of businesses on it. Although Carrollwood is just 14 miles from the base, getting there can be a bit of a struggle because you're not using any expressways to get there. So to get to the base, you have to drive south on Dale Mabry, and Dale Mabry has a lot of traffic lights. Your commute time during non-rush hours is about 35 minutes, maybe a little less if you can get a lot of green lights early in the morning. During rush hour, headed north on Dale Mabry can take you about 45 minutes. The good news is that you don't need to drive on toll roads, so you can save some money there. For a single-family home in the Carrollwood area, the average cost is about $308,000, and for a townhouse, the average cost is about $192,000. Just west of Carrollwood is the next neighborhood that we're going to talk about, the Westchase area. This area has been one of the most popular suburbs in Tampa Bay for the last 20 years. I actually have 2 videos on this area already on my channel. One is called Westchase, that just talks about Westchase in general. The other is called Westchase area, which talks about all the other neighborhoods surrounding Westchase. I personally have sold several homes to military buyers in the Westchase and Westchase area. This area is about 18 to 25 miles away from the base, depending on where you live. The commute time during non-rush hours is about 35 minutes, and during rush hour, it's at least 45 minutes, but again, depends on where you live. It's a pretty large area. You will probably be using the Veterans Expressway as you make your way to MacDill and you make your way home. That is a toll road as well. The toll cost for the Veterans Expressway is typically less than what you see in the Selman Expressway. However, it depends on where you enter the expressway. If you're coming from Westchase and you're on Linebaugh Avenue and you're driving to the base, the toll is just over $1 each way. Westchase is another lovely subdivided neighborhood with top-rated schools, lots of amenities, easy access to the Tampa International Airport, malls, shops, and restaurants. So housing isn't cheap in the Westchase area. So far in 2019, the average single-family home price is about $465,000, and the average townhouse price is around $273,000. It's definitely a more expensive area to live in Tampa Bay, but it's an area that the residents very much love. So now I'm going to talk about two very popular areas that are north and east of MacDill Air Force Base, New Tampa and Wesley Chapel. I get asked about these areas a lot because of the growth that's happening, especially in Wesley Chapel. But first I'm going to talk about New Tampa. When I talk about New Tampa, I'm talking about a very large area that includes a lot of neighborhoods, including Tampa Palms, Hunters Green, and Arbor Green, just to name a few. It's a lovely area just north of the University of South Florida with lots of established communities, restaurants, shops, and golf courses. New Tampa is about 22 miles away from the base, and during non-rush hours it takes about 36 minutes to get there, and during rush hour it takes about 50 minutes, but again it depends on where you live. So those times include a short period of time that you're on the Selman Expressway, so you will have some tolls, but the bulk of your drive is on non-toll roads. It can be a lengthy commute. Just like the Riverview area, there's a lot of people who choose to live up there, so it does get congested during rush hour. They have done a ton of road work up there over the past decade to try to keep up with the growing population, but there's just a lot of people there, so you are going to have to deal with a lot of cars. The housing prices so far in New Tampa are averaging about $360,000 for a single-family home and about $183,000 for a townhouse. North of New Tampa is Wesley Chapel, which is an area that has expanded greatly in the last couple years and is still expanding. Wesley Chapel is actually located in Pasco County, which is the county north of Hillsborough County. This area is about 29 to 35 miles away from the base, depending on where you live. It is a big area, so your commute is going to be pretty lengthy, about 37 to 40 minutes during non-rush hour. And if you're driving during rush hour, you're definitely going to have about an hour or more commute. There's a tremendous amount of new construction neighborhoods in Wesley Chapel, which gives residents a lot to choose from. The shops at Wiregrass are a lovely shopping area along with the outlet malls on State Road 56. The schools are typically rated pretty high, and there are a lot of restaurants and businesses that are opening to keep up with the population that's growing there in Wesley Chapel. So with the increase in population in Wesley Chapel, we have seen a price increase there as well. So far in 2019, the average single-family home price is about $300,000 and about $200,000 for townhouses. And the last area I'm going to talk to you guys about today is for all of you who want city living and have fallen in love with downtown St. Pete. I also have a video on downtown St. Pete, so check that out if you want more information than what I'm going to give you here today. Now, the downside to living in downtown St. Pete is that you have to cross a bridge in order to get to MacDill Air Force Base. On a normal day, if there are no accidents on any of the three bridges, then your commute time is really very similar to the commute times that you get for the other neighborhoods that I've talked about. However, if there is a wreck on the Gandy Bridge or the Howard Franklin Bridge, then your commute time will be much higher. Assuming there are no issues on the bridge, the distance from MacDill Air Force Base to downtown St. Pete is about 20 miles. Driving there during non-rush hour times will take you about 30 minutes and about 40 minutes during rush hour. Downtown St. Pete is a lively city and one of the most desirable and asked about areas in Tampa Bay. It does cost a lot to live in downtown St. Pete. The average single-family home so far in 2019 is a little over $600,000. And if you're looking for a townhouse or a condo, you're probably going to pay on average over $500,000. Now, there are more affordable options for housing in St. Pete, but those are a little bit farther away from the downtown area. Again, check out that St. Pete video for more information. So I hope those brief descriptions on some of these neighborhoods have been helpful for you. Again, the Tampa Bay area is very big, and there's a lot of neighborhoods that I didn't have time to talk about, but I'm happy to talk to you about them if you contact me directly or put a note in the comments. Aside from the neighborhood videos that I've referenced so far, there are some other videos that I think would be helpful for anybody moving to the area. Check out my video called Safe Neighborhoods, and that will give you some tips to do some online research to figure out which neighborhood you feel is the safest for you. I did a video on Home Partners of America, which is a lease purchase program here in the Tampa Bay area. I also did a video called Moving to Florida, which is a guide for new residents in Florida. It gives you lots of helpful tips. So one quick note before I go, I know a lot of military professionals are looking to rent when they come down here. It is a great option for a lot of people, and I hope you use this information to help you with your search. I do not personally assist renters in finding a home. My focus is with buyers and sellers to help them find or sell their home. So if you're looking to buy or sell in the Tampa Bay area, please give me a call or send me a text. I'm happy to help. If you are looking to rent, please use the videos on this channel to help you with your search. Also stay tuned for a future episode where I'm looking to do one about finding a great rental. That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. With love, Melanie.